Hi, I'm Phil Kurz, contributing editor for TVTech Magazine and TVTech.com. Everywhere you look today, M&E workflows are transitioning, whether it's SDI to IP, on-prem to public cloud, or single-purpose devices to COTS-based alternatives. Changes abound. I'm joined today by Angus Mackay, Product Marketing Manager at Matrox Video, to talk about the workflow landscape and how his company is responding to help customers make these transitions. Angus, thanks for being here.
It's great to be here, Phil. Thanks a lot for having us.
Angus, what are some of the biggest challenges the media and entertainment industry face today during this time of transition?
Well, Phil, I think your intro identified all of the trends and factors that are affecting the industry. Essentially, we can think about a push towards using IP video that was, I think, driven a lot by remote production, the desire to reduce costs. This was greatly accelerated during the pandemic when suddenly everybody was doing remote production. And even this interview that we're conducting today is an example of that, right? So people in video and corporate productions and broadcast and events, everybody is looking for different ways and often more economical ways of getting videos sent around. So that move, IP video, has been dependent a lot on computers, and it's on various different encoding algorithms. And so we really begin to see that computers play a greater role, not only in the processing on site of, say, adding graphics or compressing audio or doing mixing or special effects or any of the different processes that are involved in creating video, but also in the transmission of it. And so we at Matrox would say that we're really in the throes of the IP-ification, the IT-ification. These are not clear words. It's not a nice way to say it, IT-ification. But really, we're talking about what you mentioned, COTS-based. We're talking about general purpose computers. We're talking about leveraging architectures that come from an IT mentality and using those for video and for broadcast.
So, do you see any commonalities, regardless of the specific type of transition that's going on, whether it is from SDI to IP or it involves using COTS hardware rather than a standalone device or even turning to the cloud?
Well, they all, in some ways, are culminating in the same place, which is we want to use IT architectures in order to gain what we're all dreaming of, right? So if you think about it, what every producer or broadcaster is looking for are what we might call the ilities: scalability, agility, flexibility, these kinds of things, composability. You want to be able to react and be dynamic and agile, and you want to only pay for what you need. So that's what the cloud kind of offers as a promise, right? I need another computer. Well, I'll just add one. Oh, I don't need it anymore. I'll just turn it off and stop paying for it. So that model is very interesting, and we're all looking for those benefits. Another benefit of IT architecture is that you can escape what we would think of as a clock-driven workflow. So video traditionally has different appliances, as you mentioned in your introduction, that are going to process frames. Let's say it's a vision mixer or a graphics generator. And traditionally, you would have to process your whole frame at once. Then once it's done, send it off to the next process. So if you had 5 or 6 or 7 processes in your chain, you're talking about 5 or 6 or 7 frames of delay, and you start to incur latency. And this is what we want to avoid. Whereas if you use an IT architecture, you can do something which we call asynchronous processing. And you can break down your frames into smaller bits and then distribute those across a multiple of CPUs and GPUs, whether they're located in your facility or in the cloud, and have that processing done even faster than real time, if you will, because you're now instead of fighting one big duck, you're fighting 100 little ducks. So you can get 100 computers and each one will tackle that little job. So that makes for a very powerful and compelling story. You would say, oh, wait a second. Instead of being limited to my clock driven, I'm going to move to event driven. I'm going to take all of this IT architecture and I'm going to be able to process as fast as possible, really. So that's something that's very interesting, and we built that into our framework for live production that we call Origin, and that's definitely something that we'll be featuring at NAB. But it's complemented by all the IP streams that need to be generated in various locations around the world, whether that's in a stadium or an arena or an event venue, and have that sent back somewhere, whether that's to the truck parked outside or to a remote production facility or to a cloud production facility, as the case may be. And we're reading more and more about that, where just like you and I are doing this today, we could actually produce a live sports event, each of the employees sitting at home with remote access. So these are all the things that we're seeing and that people are looking towards. And to answer your question, they share a common platform of IT-ness. We can move away from video thinking into IT thinking.
Tell us a little bit more about Origin and what other sorts of solutions Matrox is bringing to bear on helping customers as they make this transition.
Absolutely. So Origin is a framework for live production, and as I say, it's an asynchronous IT native architecture. It's COTS based. You can run it on-prem, you can run it in the cloud or in hybrid, and it's really a framework that is designed to allow the traditional vendors in the broadcast space to be able to continue to provide their best of breed solutions that broadcasters want to choose for the capabilities in them, but as well as that, to be able to leverage all of this IT architecture and cloud architecture for scalability. I'm going to be able to add and subtract to it. So broadcasters are already using this in production and taking the benefits of the cloud and everything that it offers. And so we're very excited about that at NAB, and you can continue to see the difference between how a developer would use it in order to create a best of breed application that broadcasters can use, or by a broadcaster directly to go on air using the production aspect of the framework. So that's Origin, and it's really for anyone doing tier one. As I say, it's a live production framework and platform. In addition to that, we're going to be showing a number of our different converters and encoders, as well as our XT03 remote operation systems. So these all share the same qualities from Matrox, which is a focus on really high quality encoding. We're very concerned about making sure that the images are as high quality as they can be. And a lot of our stuff is going to be delivering 422 10-bit material that is good enough for keying or for color, very high demanding color work. So that will be in, say, our Edge encoder or our Convert IP ST2110 IPMX converter. And then our XT03 devices, which allow artists and operators to be remote from the systems. And you can imagine how, in a remote production environment, you'll have CPUs, computers, workstations set up close to the action, but the operator in a better environment, whether that's in the truck outside or at home. And so you need to be able to give them the remote access. And now with our IP KVMs, we're able to do that. So a very interesting combination of encoders and decoders and converters that are used to tie facilities together to move video from one location to another, and then the control systems that artists and operators need in order to be able to work with all of that and get the production done.
Sounds like visitors will have a lot to see at the Matrox booth during NAB.
Listen, we've got a lot of great stuff going on there and lots of very interesting customer use cases. I talked about the cloud distribution. You know, this is something that we're made some very interesting relationships with different cloud platforms, video circuits, and transport companies. So we'll be talking a lot about that at NAB. And so we're very excited about the show and looking forward to see everybody at the booth. I think it's SL5073, if I've got that right. And we look forward to seeing everybody there.
Well, that's all we have time for today. I want to thank Angus for sharing his perspectives. Be sure to check out TVTech and TVTech.com for continuing coverage of these important issues. For TVTech, I'm Phil Kurz. Thank you for watching.